Master horse racing with daily racing fields Formulator, now free for DRF Bets members. Sign up to get the best bonus in racing with a $250 deposit match, plus a $10 free bet and free Formulator past performances. Go to drf.com/bet to play like a pro today.
Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, kicking off the stakes action at Belmont Park on Sunday. Race number 2 is for 2-year-old fillies going 5.5 furlongs. It's the $150,000 Astoria Stakes. Let's take a peek at the field. We kick off a 50-cent pick 4-6. 2-year-old fillies scheduled to go in the Astoria morning line favorite, the 6 closing act, who got up late to win at Churchill Downs. This filly's got a nice pedigree, Mike. She was pretty professional in her debut, and I think she'll show a little bit more speed this time.
Yeah, we'll see if she gets out of the gate this time, Dan. Just sort of steadied away from the gate there in the debut, but did everything right after that. And I thought she looked pretty good winning. Boy, 2-year-old racing has changed a lot, not for the better. These horses are all, the ones that have run, all have one start. Nobody's fired out of the 40s yet.
Let's throw up the Timeform US Pace Projector, and we'll take the Pace Projector with a grain of salt. These fillies are still finding themselves as they make either start number 2 or start number 1. Union Suit showed speed in her career debut, and you got to think she's going to go from the inside or Manny Franco.
Yeah, it's interesting because of the 5 that have a race back in this field, Dan, only one of them really showed speed in that debut, and it was Union Suit, and she showed really good speed in that race to make the front. I thought she looked pretty good winning. I guess she's been privately purchased since then.
Let's watch that career debut at Horseshoe, Indianapolis. The fans knew. They bet her down to 2-1. She showed speed from the start. She kept right on going. Only a 49 buyer speed figure, Mike, which you mentioned. It appears she was purchased privately after that race. She's now with Graham Motion.
Yeah, I mean, this is a nice performance, Dan. She took a little bit of a bump at the start, but she was out of there with good speed. She made the lead. You see the stretch run there. She won this race really easily. Never let that horse that was chasing her get into the race. One clear under the wire. I liked that performance, and she could make the lead again here.
Trainer Mark Hasse taking a little bit of a leap in faith with the number 2 Golden Ghost, a first-time starter sold for $500,000 as a yearling. You look at this pedigree, and you have to be stunned that she's an early 2-year-old. She's by Medaglia d'Oro. The dam was a Group 1 winner, I believe, going 1.25 miles in France. That dam is a half-sister to a Group 1 winner going long in Australia. And the second dam was a multiple stakes winner on turf, and I believe won the Dowager at 1.5 miles. So 5.5 on the dirt. Pedigree says no. It's interesting she's here.
I mean, I guess it's a good sign that this is where they're debuting her, despite that pedigree. I'm sure she's shown speed in the morning, Dan. First-time starter, not facing a super strong field here, even though they're debuting her in a $150,000 stakes race. Those are all positives. So maybe it's just the right spot. I don't need a first-time starter in this race, though.
Mid-Atlantic-based trainer Phil Schoenthal has 2 in here, including the number 3 Donate Life, who made her career debut at Keeneland over a muddy track going 4.5 furlongs. It was an off-turf race. I think she gained a lot of experience from this performance. Let's watch the daughter of Munnings sort of riding the rail down towards the inside the 3/16 pole. She's going to get in a little bit tight. The jock's going to angle to the outside, and she'll finish willingly enough.
Yeah, true. I thought she did some good things here. You saw that horse on the lead there sort of shift over in front of her. So she had to alter off the inside, but she keeps coming. She has a real shot to win this thing, Dan. She can't quite get it done at the end and finishes a closer. Good performance. Worth noting, she was entered for turf there. She got out of the gate very well, but she was not fast enough to make the lead. But maybe she'll be fast enough against this field.
Trainer John Salzman Jr. is very well with his 2-year-olds, and he might have a good one here with the 4 low mileage. I know the buyer came back light in her career debut, only a 46, but she did some very good things. She's a very good-looking daughter of Mineshaft. She weighed in at Laurel at over 1,100 pounds. She didn't break grade. She had no problem saving ground and riding the rail. She was very professional getting to the outside, and she ran down a first-time starter that showed speed and looked pretty live.
Yeah, she did run well here. You're right. She didn't break that sharply. She took a little bit of a shuffle early, but after that, just always traveled like she was going to run. Had a pretty easy time overwhelming that horse on the lead late and was getting away at the end. That was a really, really nice debut. I have no argument with this horse.
Living Magic's the other Schoenthal entrant. She's a filly by Justify. She did some pretty good things graduating at this distance in her debut at Parks. She wasn't up on the lead. And a lot of times in these two-year-old races, the race is won by the swift. Whoever gets out of the gate quickly enough. The pace wasn't very fast. Living Magic had to come and get this pace setter, and she did. She's still learning, and she's going to have to take a little bit of a step forward off that 40 buyer, but she's well bred, and maybe she will take that jump forward at a nice number.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she can do it. She's another one. Didn't do everything right in the debut, but I really liked the run that she made. Dan didn't get out of the gate that quickly. Was wide on the turn though. You saw her through the stretch. Easily took over there coming to the 8th post. She was still green too. You could see her sort of looking around in there. Didn't look like she was all in at the end, but she was holding. I thought she ran really well and maybe better than it looks on paper.
Closing acts, your morning line favorite for trainer Steve Asmussen, a Texas-bred daughter of Munnings. She came from off the pace to win her debut at Churchill. As Mike mentioned, she didn't get away from the gate very well, but she showed some class in getting up at the end. Again, the buyer was light, only a 49, but she happens to catch a pretty good field for her stakes debut. And if she gets away better, I think she'll be closer to the pace, a pace that might not be very fast, and she could be right there when they turn for home.
Yeah, I think all those things are probably true. She does have IRAD this time for Asmussen, so it just feels like she's going to get bet regardless. And I don't know that she has to be a short price in her. Dan, she did run well first time out, but it wasn't one of those two-year-old races that was dominated on the lead. She came from off of it. The runner-up came from off of it, and they were both making up a lot of ground at the end. This is the horse that got the job done.
Let's take a look at our top selections for the Astoria. I respect the two favorites on the morning line, the 1 and the 6. I'm going to go with Golden Ghost. The pedigree says no, maybe against winners first time out. Maybe that says no, but it's just fascinating to me that she's here. The works look solid. You're going with Living Magic, Mike. The race at Parks, you mentioned that she's green, but she's very well bred. Schoenfeld does a good job.
Yeah, she has a nice pedigree. I feel like she's one of the ones I think all of them could, obviously, but I think she could really improve here because more than anything else, she just didn't look that professional, but she won her debut anyway.
5162 for Mike, 2614 for me. We'll go for some prices in the race for the baby fillies. It's the Astoria, the second at Belmont on Sunday. Good luck.